morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I am going to be making a card featuring the Sketched Butterflies bundle, which is on page 68 of the annual catalog. If you're in Australia and you would like a hard copy of this catalog and our current mini catalog, which has lots of great holiday products, you can reach out to me, Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com, or if you go over to my website, there's a place to click and fill out a form, and I will be happy to send you the catalogs. If you're in a different Stampin' Up! Market and you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, again, feel free to reach out to me. I know demonstrators all over the world, and I'd be happy to connect you with somebody. So, let's get started today. Like I said, I'm using the Sketched Butterflies bundle, and that is a cling stamp set and a great set of dies. These outline dies coordinate with the different images here. There isn't a die for the cluster of little butterflies, but then there are other, what am I trying to say? There are other dies to cut out some neat pierced or filigree shaped butterflies that are fun to use too. So I have a particular design in mind and kind of prepped out already, and so I am going to start by stamping the largest butterfly. And so you probably know by now, you may know by now, I have taken one of our uninked stamp pads that comes with the craft white ink, but I've inked it up with Memento. That makes a nice dark juicy ink pad, which is great for most of the time. But sometimes on these very detailed stamps, it just gets a bit clogged, and you can use a very light touch, and that works well. Or I come in with the original one and use it. And when I have a large stamp like this, I often like to bring the pad to the block instead of the other way around. It's easier to see everything. And I'm going to get it on there. Hello, Gladys and Paula. Thanks for joining me from the US. If you are joining me today, please do say hello in the comments, either live or on replay. I see them all. If you have questions, feel free to pop them in there. I may ask for some feedback. Even if you're watching on replay, you can say, oh, I wish you'd done something else. Feel free. So there's that. And that just has all of the detail from the little cross-hatching on the sketchy stamp without being as filled in as the juicier foam pad would have been. So I have some colors of blends here to use and some ideas of what I want to do. This is the dark smoky slate for the head and thorax of the butterfly. I still want to be able to see all that detail from the sketch, so I didn't go with the black. Hi Mom, you have some super house guests. Let me guess. That would be Andrew and Emma, my son and his girlfriend. I'm glad they've made it. That's a good thing. And then I have here, this is a dark pool party and light summer sun and light wild wheat and light Highland heather. And I did a sample one already, and it's okay, but I want to try something a little different, and I haven't quite figured out what that little different is. Uh, so, except I think what I want to do is put the wild wheat in this section here. And this wild wheat color is kind of interesting. It's very gold, which is what I'm trying to pull out. It can, if you've got greens, it can read kind of green. If you've got what am I trying to say? If you've got yellows, it can read more yellow. I like it being a bit more gold in this application. You'll see why in a little bit. Yeah, and I'm really kind of changing up what I'm doing from the last one. So we'll see which one I wind up liking better. I am getting super, super excited because I am about to start my trip to the US. I've been planning it for close to 10 months now, and it's very exciting that it's going to happen 2 weeks from yesterday. So I am planning to be here next week for one more Facebook Live. But if I am feeling completely overwhelmed with trip preparations, that may go by the wayside. But I'm planning to be here. Yeah. So this is, again, the Pool Party Light. And this is the Summer Splash. I am excited to be, I'm hopscotching my way across the country is what I'm saying. I'm starting, well, I arrive actually in LA, but I'm starting in Seattle with my brother and sister-in-law and get to see a couple of cousins as well. And then Colorado to see my son and his girlfriend and her family and various friends who live there. And then I'm stopping in eastern Indiana, Richmond, Indiana, to see, I'm attending my 35th college reunion. And then I go to my mom and dad's in the house I grew up in Maryland. And we're going to do a road trip to North Carolina to meet up with a whole bunch of friends for our annual getaway weekend there. And that will include Paula, who's a regular here. And then drive back to Maryland and hang out there until it's time to come back to Melbourne by way of Dallas. Somebody asked me the other day, how long a flight is it from Dallas to Melbourne? That sounds long. It is. I think maybe I'm just gonna do a little more, I think, up here. It's 17 hours from Dallas to Melbourne, nonstop. There we go. I'm gonna call it quits there. So there's two different versions of it. I like that, I think, for what I'm doing. I think if I want some more. Little bits of the wild wheat carrying through a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss. Get that all lined up. So there's that. And now I'll bring in the other pieces that I've already gone ahead and cut. This is a piece of, what is this called? Gold Mercury Vellum, which is very cool, very shiny. It's supposed to look like mercury glass. And I've got a piece of basic white that's going to go right in the middle there. And that's going to go on the corner. Whoops. Excuse me. So that's why I wanted some of that wild wheat in there, because I think that picks up the gold really nicely. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment up in this corner, and this is from the same Sketched Butterflies, and this is wishing you a beautiful birthday. And I will bring in the foam pad. There we go. And one of the things to be careful about with vellum is, well, number one, you want to be sure that your adhesive is not visible. But too much liquid glue can make it warp. So you want to be careful about that. Because there's not a lot hiding things, you want to be really sure you're accurate with your spacing and alignment and placement and all of that. So that said, I am going to use liquid glue on the back here. Did I get it straight? I'd like to think so. So when I did this one and I looked at it, I just thought that by putting that ring of, that's fine, but the wild wheat just kind of blended in a little bit, I think. I think that kind of stands, I don't know, I like that better. So I'm going to bring in some dimensionals to pop that up. Go. And I'm going to bring in, these are blooming pearls. And I could use some of those, but I'm going to bring in just the plain gold ones. Just checking my comments here. You like the second one better too? Yeah. Thanks, Gladys. So I like these little gold ones. So I think that's it. It's pretty quick, pretty easy. What do you think? I'm going to leave it there for you guys. I'll probably make another one. I'm not going to throw this away. I'll make another card with that. I'm not sure if I'll make another. See how that one is on there? That's fine. I may make another one just like it with that one on there. It's fine. Like that better. I'm not. Kind of blending in those a little bit more. Don't like them quite so streaky. Yes, you can go back and add still more. Yeah, that's being better. Yeah. Better still. Okay. Now I'm going to leave it. Thanks for joining me today. I will be back, unless I post otherwise, next week. Same time, same place. See you then. Bye-bye.